g'day to all my mates out there in YouTube land. Um, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I've done a lot of fun stuff. We had a good time with the girls the other day, and I've been to resorts. Um, this subject it's been covered a lot. Thousands of videos about the cost of living in the Philippines. Well, this is going to be Seb's take on a very boots on the ground, very raw. I'm going to try and be as detailed as I can about what I spend. And I think I've got a list here of stuff, and I've included stuff that uh, maybe it's not the big stuff about rent, but just little things that have come to mind that I thought I'd add in that, you might not even think about. So don't forget, if you like this video and you hang with it, like, subscribe, and share. So, okay, let's get into it. And it's not going to be a long video. The last couple of videos, I've got carried away with the timeline. So this is only going to be a short, sweet now. And by the way, it's going to be related more in Australian dollars than American. I just looked up the Australian dollar. At the moment, it's running at about 37 and a half peso to the Australian dollar. I think the American, last time I spoke to my American friends, I think they were up around the 55 mark or something. But you can, obviously you can convert to the numbers I come up to. I was speaking to my father this morning. He's 88. Hi, Dad. And I asked him, what is the age pension in Australia now? And he couldn't remember, but we finally got out that it's around about and it varies, obviously, depending on your situation, whether you got a house, whether you're married, whatever. But as a single guy, he tells me he's getting about 2,500 Australian dollars a month. Now, I'm thinking that's about right. It's running at about $600-700 a week. Now over here, that'd be fantastic, and you can understand for financial reasons and not just chasing the girls why so many Australian, New Zealand, American, whatever, from all over the West are coming to places like here, because the cost of living is just a lot better, even though. And there's going to be, that's one of the points I want to make, pre-pandemic to now. Now, I did my budget based on what I was spending before the pandemic. And I got stuck in Australia for the pandemic. So I was a bit naive. I didn't adjust. I mean, I'd seen YouTube channel reports on how inflation has hit the Philippines. I didn't really realize the extent that it really has affected the day-to-day living here. So, having said that, I'll get into what I believe, and again, it's going to vary from each individual as to what you spend a week or a month. So this is going to be a monthly budget based on the Australian dollar. And for you guys in Oz that are thinking about coming over here, retiring, or whatever. Now I've got to put my glasses on because I'm getting a bit mature. So let's have a look at what I've got written down. All right, we'll start with the obvious. And I had a house. I built a house here, so rent was never an issue for me. But now it is. So I'm paying 15,000 peso a month. You can get. And now pre-pandemic, you could easily get something for 6 or 8. Now they start, from my experience here in Dumaguete, around about 15K, 20, 25. I mean, some of the guys here are paying 30, 35, which is, it's big money, but, some of these guys have got it to spend. but mine is 15,000 pesos. So in Australian dollars, that's about 420 bucks a month. Okay. Next, food. Now that's going to vary. I mean, all of this is going to be a variant as to the individual needs. My food budget, and I don't eat a hell of a lot, and I'm getting onto salads, fruit salad. I don't have a lot of pizzas and hamburgers and stuff like that. So the food's going to be a month about, I'm saying it's going to be about 12,000 peso, all right, which is about $330 a month. Next, just water bills, just for your shower, your everyday domestic use. Water's pretty cheap here. You know, my water bill I think was about 300 peso, which was about $10. Yeah. So water's not a drama here. Although you do need to get drinking water. So you buy it in a big blue container. I think it's about 20 litres or so. And that's pretty reasonable. I'll go through one and a half of those. That's about 30 peso. Call it, say, I don't know, $6 or $10 a month for your drinking water. Depends on you know, you use it for coffee and for your you're making your drinks. You put a cold drink in the fridge with some tang or some flavor or something. Electricity. Now this has gone up heaps since I was here before the pandemic. Electricity is really expensive, especially for you guys that are sitting home with the air conditioner on. You're running a fridge, you got the lights on, you're watching TV. Electricity is expensive. My electricity bill this month came in at 3,500 peso for electricity, which is about 120 bucks, something like that, for a month. Now, transport. I live on the outskirts of Dumaguete, and for a local, they can pay 10, 20 peso to go. So if I go from here to Ground Zero and I was Filipino, I'd probably pay, I don't know, 20 peso. I normally pay about 40 or 50 to go into town, downtown, and then 50 peso back. So I'm allowing about 100 peso. And if I go within the city somewhere, you know, if I catch a tricycle just in the inner city area, so let's just say 100 peso a day, right? So depends if you've got your own bike. So that adds up, you know, that's about 50 to 80 bucks a month just in tricycle fees. Toiletries, right? Well, I use a bit of shampoo. And then, of course, you got your soap, your razors, toilet paper, etc., etc. And they're little, you know, they're things. I didn't put that in the food budget. That's just a little bit of a separate thing, whatever else you need. So I'm thinking it's not a lot. It might be 10 or 20 bucks a month. Now, medication, that's a real individual thing. If you are diabetic or you have a heart condition or something, I'm fortunate. I did have a bit of a problem with my shoulder getting repaired. I was on a lot of painkillers and stuff like that. So that was costing me nearly 2,000, 2,500 a week for medication. So the medication, depending on your condition, you'll have to factor that in to your own medication. But again, that's something to think about. Gas, cooking gas. So I don't use. I've got an electric stove, but I don't use it because electricity is so expensive. So I've got a LG liquid petroleum gas bottle. that lasts me about a month. So that runs out about 1,000 peso a month. I don't know, call it, what's that, about $28-30 a month. Not terribly expensive, but you know, it all starts to add up in your monthly budget. Now, telephone. We all need a phone. I'm thinking I will spend for data and the telephone about $20 a month. That's pretty conservative. I don't apart from doing these videos, I don't really use my data a lot. I do chat a little bit on Messenger, but you know, for me, $20 a month seems to cover it okay. Of course, if you go to a restaurant or somewhere like Ground Zero, they got Wi-Fi, so that'll help you out a little bit. But again, another expense that you have to consider. Oh, this one, immigration. Now, when I was married to a Filipino, I'd fly in to the country and I'd get balikbayan. So that was a stamp for 12 months. So I never had to worry about it. Now I'm divorced and I'm single. I've got the tourist visa. Well, I just extended for 6 months, and with the ACR card, with the ID card, I reckon it was nearly 14,000 peso. So every 6 months, it's about $25 a month, I think. You've got to obviously factor that in. If you want to stay here, that's all part of the deal, right? So that's definitely on the list. Now, this one, again, it's not going to affect everyone, but if you're a smoker and you like a beer, if you like a beer and you just want to drink home, you can get a crate of beer, the small Pilsen, the 24, you get 24 small bottles in a crate. That used to be, pre-pandemic, around 700 peso a crate or a box or whatever you want to call it. Now, depends where you are, I'd budget probably 8, 9, if not 1,000 peso, and that gives you 24 bottles. Maybe that's good enough for you for a week, or maybe you need more. Smoking, well, it's a lot cheaper here than Australia, but, and I don't advocate in favour of anyone smoking, but if you are a smoker, you're looking at around 200 peso a pack. That's generally where it's running out to, which is, what's that? It's about, I don't know, you could probably spend easy 100 Australian, if not more, on cigarettes if you have a packet a day. So a packet of 20s, yeah, it's about, I think it's about $4 a pack, something like that. Depends. If you go to the small Surrey store, they're a lot cheaper. You can get them for about 140 peso. But generally, I've found them to be about 200 peso a pack. Now, all that included comes to roughly about 1,500 peso a month. Now, if you're on an age pension or a disability pension in Australia and you're getting 2,500 Australian dollars a month, no problems. You can do it fairly easily. The budgets that I used to have before the pandemic, I was thinking maybe 1,000 Australian a month. It ain't really going to cut it, guys. Not anymore. I mean, you know, I used to watch these videos, $800, $1,000. Nah, it really ain't going to do it. You really need to be at least 1,500, if not 2,000. Say $500 a week is going to, and that doesn't even include doing a little bit of, you know, island hopping. So if you want to go, so if you're in Dumaguete, you want to go to Sikihor Island. Okay, so there's the ferry. You've got to get over there, obviously, on a ferry. You got accommodation. Then you're going to be eating out every day. You want to have a couple of beers. You want to go to some attractions. You want to go to the waterfalls, or whatever it is, you want to do snorkeling or some diving, that's all going to cost, right? So that's not included in your bare survival uh, budget for just, you know, week by week living. So again, depends on where you feel comfortable. If you do go island hopping, you can get accommodation, I guess, starting, I guess you can get for like 1,500 a night, 2,500, maybe 3,000 a night. So yeah, it all adds up. But again, that's not factored into the 1,500 per month that I've given you. So the 1,500 is just your food, electricity, your rent. If you go out in the province, your rent's going to be a lot cheaper. But again, you haven't got the facilities, the shopping that you're going to get in somewhere like Cebu or Dumaguete. So that's about it, guys. As I said, it's going to be a short one. So yeah, I'm thinking you're going to have at least 2,000 Australian dollars a month would be pretty good. 500 a week. And of course, don't forget that all important emergency backup fund that you need. Don't want to end up in hospital without it, believe me. All right, so you're going to need, I would suggest, seriously, you're going to need at least 6 to 10,000 Australian under the mattress for any hospital costs or anything like that. I've been shopping around now for some health insurance. I'm going back to Australia in the next couple of months, so I'll be definitely, you know, getting a little bit more organised as far as that's concerned. So thanks. Hi guys, just I think I should add this. I think halfway through there I said it was 1,500 peso a month. It's 1,500 Australian dollars a month. So I'm sorry about that. I just thought I'd add this little correction at the end. Thanks guys, take care, and we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care guys, thanks for watching. Cheers.